Hi everyone, I'm Darlene Duncan, Vice President, Kenosha Women's Network. Again, so happy to see everyone. To introduce our speaker for today is Cathy Kramer, and she'll be discussing financial safety. Cathy is the Director of the Business Development at CMIT Solutions of Southeast Wisconsin. She has 44 years as a technology leader, over 28 of which she has spent in leadership at small to mid-sized businesses. Cathy also has many volunteer experiences, and in 2023 won the Ambassador of the Year Award from the Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce. Please help me welcome Cathy Kramer.
Thank you. Thank you. So I want to set your expectations right off the bat. I'm not a financial advisor. It's going to be keeping your data safe, your financial data safe, right? And usually it's more about cybersecurity, which my presentation usually takes an hour, but I'm going to condense it down to 10 minutes. So I'm going to talk. This is what it's all about, and I have brochures, right? But there's some basic things that we need to do to keep our world safe. Every day on the news, you guys hear about stories of scams or companies that have been hacked into and their data stolen. It comes down to human engineering. How do I behave? How do I work in my world with technology, whether it's a cell phone, a computer, answering the phone, clicking on an email. There's so many different small things you can do to start off being safe. And then, of course, there's big things that are expensive to, virus software, security programs, and we can get into that. And I'm happy to share my business card to talk to you all one-on-one to give you a solution for your world, okay? So feel free to call me. I'm full of advice, whether it's good or bad, right? Okay, so the first thing is security awareness. Well, you're all here not just to have great lunch and celebrate International Women's Day, which but I would just encourage you to try to get some education, whether it's watching webinars, reading books. I mean, yeah, that's real exciting, right? I think I'm the only geek in the world, or room, I don't know, but and believe me, I like it, but my friends call me, right? They don't want to dive into this. There's cybersecurity training that, like, my company performs for companies, small, large, whatever, just to teach correct behaviors to their employees. There's different tools that you can use to test your knowledge. It's called phishing simulation. So, if you receive an email that looks really familiar, do you really click it on? There's so many different ways to tell. So, for instance, I received an email once that it was most definitely from Chase Freedom, my credit card company. It was going to be my statement. But there was something weird about it. It's like, they don't usually send it to me in this format. So I took my cursor and I hovered around the email address, and you could see it was fake, right? Yeah. Well, that used to work. I have news for you. With artificial intelligence now, they're cloning emails, they're cloning logos. So if any of you, do you shop with Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
How many of you get these pesky emails like they know what you're shopping for, right?
Yeah.
But it's not Amazon. I mean, it's the logo, and like shipping notice of your orders on the way. Well, 50% chance that maybe you just shopped with Amazon. So be careful about that. Don't click it on unless you absolutely know that order number matches what you thought you ordered, right? Better to be safe than sorry, because what happens when you click it on, the software used to be just a virus, like a worm. We all remember the days of the worm virus. Now it's called malware, phishing software that might just embed itself into the lower parts of your operating system of your computer. You don't know about it, but what it's doing is it's spying on your activity. It's monitoring your conversations, maybe learning about you, I'm meeting somebody for lunch at this restaurant or whatever, so they're starting to hone in on where you live, what your location is, building a profile of who you are so that when the time is right, they try to hack into your world. Maybe, if you're lucky, they ask for ransomware. But 9 times out of 10, it's more for malicious purposes of stealing your identity and stealing your money, breaking into your bank accounts. So, along those lines, how do we stay safe? Passwords. Okay, how many of you have your name like CK, that's my initials, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? You're smart. You guys are smart. Have ridiculous passwords that make no sense, have nothing to do with your birthday, your pet's name, your first boyfriend's name, your last boyfriend's name, right? So, I mean, and make it a ridiculous combination of upper, lowercase. Have a password book. There's one that I'm going to give away today.
It's already filled with all her passwords.
Okay, so just a side note, my passwords are indicative of my mood. Piece of shit software. Right? Okay, I hate this. Home too expensive. It was like, I can tell what mood I was in because they always make you change your passwords when you really need to get something done.
Right.
But it's worth it. And in addition to passwords, let it be known that Google's very nice to want to save your passwords. Don't save your passwords.
Yeah.
It's so hard to have to re-log in every time. But when you're saving those passwords, Google or Facebook, all the meta companies are reselling that information. Okay? Should be against the law. Somebody should be monitoring it, but they don't, right? Okay, so never save a password.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's important to do. And don't have the same password for a different application. So if you log into your bank, let it be known only to that bank and not to your credit card or your Amazon account. Because if it is compromised, then everything's compromised.
She
Okay?
wasn't kidding. We're changing your passwords this weekend.
Oh, no. In addition to changing your password, have you ever heard the term multi-factor authentication?
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do your multi-layer authentication to the same device you're trying to sign into. So you're on your computer, you're signing in, it wants to authenticate your identity. Send the other thing, text your phone. Make it 2 different devices because likelihood of the thief, the hacker, having both your devices at the same time are low, right? So even though it adds a step, it's much harder to recuperate once you've been hacked to save your wealth. Okay. Here's another side one. Don't ever use your debit card to purchase things online.
Yeah.
I know it's nice, but the minute you use your debit card instead of a credit card, the money's gone. You've approved the transaction, you cannot get a refund. Happened to me this summer. Yes.
I have one credit card, the only thing I use it for is the internet.
You get an A. You get an A. That's great.
What if you use a debit card as credit? Is that still safe or not?
What I would recommend is to ask your bank. Ask my bank, if I use this debit card, mine's a MasterCard debit card, but I used it this summer. I was buying tickets to go to Ravinia.
Oh, yeah.
When I went to check out, I didn't realize that I wasn't on Ravinia's website. It redirected me to some company in another country, and it changed my 1 ticket to 30 tickets. It changed my $50 transaction to $1,350.
Oh my God.
And I didn't see it. It didn't give me like, are you sure you want to check out? It just took my money and ran. Called my bank. My bank's like, oh yeah, we'll fix it. Oh no, we can't. You already approved it. So money gone, can't get it back. And the sad thing is, I'm in cybersecurity, so you know.
Thank you.
Does your homeowner's insurance help you on that?
I don't have cyber security insurance. And no, if you if you approve a transaction, which I did at the checkout, it's done. No recourse, okay? With a credit card companies will fight for you.
Yeah.
Right? They'll reverse the charges. So, I mean, as much as I hate to use a credit card, it really is a safer bet. Okay. Mobile devices. Do we all do our emails? Yes.
I have a question. So, like, what about PayPal? Using PayPal.
Okay, so PayPal, Zelle,
Yeah.
hacked into.
Yeah.
They have been so hacked into and resold. Stay away from PayPal. Stay away. I know. Zelle, if you use Zelle to do your banking, they've been hacked into. It's not a matter of if you're gonna get compromised, it's a matter of when are you going to get compromised. Okay, so let's go, let's just assume we're already exposed.
Apple Pay, can you do Apple Pay?
I don't know much about Apple Pay. I don't do Apple Pay, I'm a Droid girl, sorry.
I'm going home.
But what you're bringing up a good question is, you know, we can have softer products to support our computers. Also, ask your cell phone provider what their security software is to protect you, but don't trust that as the end all. I license myself for my home devices and my cell phones, AVG. I spend $170 a year and I can load it on 10 different devices. And in that software, it does the phishing email protection, it does virus software, it scans, it gets rid of threats, it tells me if there's somebody trying to penetrate my world, and I have the option of saying no, block them, or no, that's a trusted sender, accept it. I know it's a pain, but it's better than trying to fix the world.
Is that a VPN? Is that a thing?
A VPN is within their software solution. So setting up a VPN to the devices that you're going to talk to or the websites that you're going to visit. There's also, I'm glad you brought that up, and when you set up a VPN, a very private network, you have the option of turning on devices or not allowing devices. For instance, HP printers. HP wants you to turn off your VPN. Never let another company tell you to turn off your VPN. Okay? They did that to me and it exposed everybody in my neighborhood could access my printer. Well, if they can access my printer, they can go through my router to my computer, right? So you really want to lock down your world. TVs, if you guys are Netflix or Prime Video, make sure you got some software. I know it's a pain to add your passwords to your TVs, but do that because now they're getting into your TVs and then into your world. If you like to sync up your cell phone to your Bluetooth in your car to make hands-free driving, now they're penetrating your Bluetooth device on your car to get to your contact list on your phone. It's like, we can't win, right? Okay. So I talked about multi-factor login, mobile devices, advanced protection.
You freaked us all out.
Good job. So, and that was not my goal. My goal was ignorance is not a bliss when it comes to cybersecurity, right?
Yeah, I'll use Apple Pay.
And feel free to call me, and I'll try to help you recover. If for some reason you enter into a website, or you click on something and then all of a sudden your computer goes, woo, 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 woo. Has anybody ever had that?
No.
Where they want you to call customer service, they want a remote control into your computer to clean up what they did. Never do that. Never call the 800 number. Simply do Alt-Control-Delete. Taskbar will come up and you say, end all my tasks. Close off your computer and restart it. They really don't have control over you yet, right? Also, if you have something that looks suspicious, like a bank is notifying you for something, don't click on that email and use that 800 number. Call your bank directly.
Right.
Banks don't call you when they think there's something suspicious. Yes?
I have a question about the authenticity of the chip on cards versus the tap function on cards.
You know,
because I still am a chip girl.
I can tell
But
you a
the
whole
tap-
story about that.
yeah.
The tap
You want to
was,
share your story?
My card got skimmed. It was a chip. I put it into a device and I got skimmed. I got two transactions on it, and I got a text from my bank, and I thought, well, this is obviously a scam. So I didn't. Long story short, I eventually tracked it down. It was legitimate. I'd been skimmed. I got a new card, and I now have the tap, which is the RFID. So I looked up. I investigated whether RFID tapping was better than the chip for skimming. Well, you can't be skimmed with it, but you can if they've got a device. They can access it unless you have an RFID wallet that will block it.
So, and the short of the answer is there's a lot of scammers out there now. Walmart, Speedway gas station, people have attached devices to their card readers to duplicate your card. So even if you did a tap or a chip, in the credit card processing world, that data is stolen.
So if we want to learn more, because this will go on forever. How do we do that?
Okay, so my business cards are here. Here's a brochure with some contact information. Reach out to me and we'll have a one-on-one.
Thank you.
And I'll share with you some webinars. I have a very good webinar coming up March 26th. You can watch it from anywhere. Just, learn. That's all I can say.
So Kathy, if we signed up on that sheet, will we get information about that webinar?
Yes. I will share the webinar invitation with you. It's from, I partner with some software companies. That's all they do in life. I mean, fun, right? But they keep up with the trends because every time we come out with a solution to protect you, the hackers come out with a way to get around. And with artificial intelligence, that's a whole nother presentation, which we'll be happy to do.